Hello, this is Gabriel again, and here we are. We're still in step one, designing your Moti journey, and this time we will be discussing budget. The first thing I want you to know is that a Moti journey does not require a big budget, and this is why. Let's look at the costs associated to the app. Well, the app is free. All Red Cross, Red Crescent entities have a lifelong free license to use Moti. This means that if you're embarking on a journey and you enjoy it and you want to do, repeated surveys, don't worry, it will always be free. Moti can be translated into any language, so this might require a budget if you have if the language that you are usually using when you talk to your volunteers or your staff is not one that's supported by the Moti app. Then at cost, our IT partner can translate the whole app interface into your language, and that would include the automated reports, the frequently asked questions, etc. Now, you might need specific features, and if you do, other nurses might also need these features. So this can be discussed with our IT partner, and they can deploy these new features at cost. But with the current features on Moti, you should be able to run your journey. Now, there are costs associated to the meetings and workshops. So if you don't have a budget, and if your team has good internet connection and computers, or at least phones, you can do your meetings and discussions online. Now, we all know that team building is more effective when people meet in person, if possible, not at the office. These workshops, can be more impactful, and that comes with a cost. Now, you don't have to go to a fancy hotel to do your team building exercise. You can do that outside in the park if the weather is nice. Obviously, your budget will also depend on the number and the size of meetings that you would like to organize. And perhaps the most important is the cost of having a neutral facilitator for these meetings. This is especially true in organizations where there's some distrust and tensions in the teams. The other advantage of having a facilitator is that you, as a leader, can take a back seat and observe quietly what is going on. And by being really focused on what you're observing, you'll get probably stronger insights on the team dynamics, and including your own reactions to what is being said. You want to be demonstrating as the team lead your leadership skills of listening and understanding and encouraging people to participate to the meeting. And so with a facilitator, you don't need to worry about the team dynamics. You just focus on your leadership skills and on observing what's going on. Now, there are also costs associated to the plan of action, and this is a little tricky because as you embark in your Moti journey, you don't know what will emerge in the plan of action, because the different activities and decisions that will be committed in the plan of action will emerge during the team discussions, that is, well into the Moti journey. So this is why we have the I4C's Capacity Building Fund, that fund is actually designed precisely for this type of situation. So imagine that you are fully documenting a beautiful plan of action based on the evidence provided by the Moti surveys and by the team discussions. You just send that as a grant request to the CBF, and I'm pretty sure that they will fund your activities if they make sense, at least. So there'll be some convincing to do, but you will have the evidence to do so. Another possibility for financial support is to contact the Moti Consortium. So this is the group of national societies that have invested in Moti and who have done some Moti journeys themselves, and to see if they would be interested in sharing some of the costs. You can imagine joint webinars or joint meetings, or as I said previously, maybe a co-investing in a feature for the Moti app. So, 2 points. The first is that the absence of a budget should not deter you from running a Moti journey. You can run a Moti journey without a budget. It just requires time, especially if you just want to do a Moti journey with 1 or 2 teams. You don't need a budget for that. The second point, maybe even more exciting, is that the results of a Moti survey can be used as evidence to support a grant request to the CBF or to any other donor. So that's it. You see, not difficult. The next video we will be discussing how we create Moti teams and circles, and that will be actually the last video for step 1, designing your Moti journey. See you then.